I don't know if I was the perfect example, and my GPA was close to perfect, but not perfect. I think that in terms of college study habits, I think that it's over budget their time for the amount that they need to study, because if you make an error, you want to make an error that is on the side of overstudying rather than understudying. And a lot of students make this mistake because college is new to them, they're making new friends, they're getting used to living in a new place. But an early GPA kind of deficit can really set you back if you are looking to go to law school or looking to go to business school or some type of graduate school that requires a high GPA. And that's not to say that it's going to kill your chances of doing that, but in my case, I was, having a higher GPA made it that much easier for me. And it's not, an innate intelligence that I had over other people. It was just, working harder in certain instances. So there is an immense value to working hard and figuring out your own learning style. For my case, didn't mean reading all of the required reading and reading all of the optional supplemental reading that professors assigned. It meant figuring out what was important and what was going to be important for the exams. My classes were less math and science oriented, so in the beginning it was less exams and more papers. So not leaving your papers till the last minute. Probably did a little bit of this, but in an ideal world I wouldn't have, and in most cases I didn't. Starting your paper early, coming up with a topic, doing research, going and talking about it with the professor, especially if you're at a smaller school like Dartmouth, where you can have that kind of relationship with a professor. When they go to grade your paper, they'll know that not only have they approved your topic and given their input, but subconsciously, they're going to think more approvingly of your paper and think more of your work ethic as well. They'll give you the benefit of the doubt, and it'll also relate more to them naturally because they had input in the ideas that went into it. A big difference between the educational system in China versus in the United States. A lot of parents that I talk to, even of high school students, maybe if their son or daughter is in 9th grade, they'll say, okay, what should they major in? Or what's the best major to apply to? And the answer is that as a 9th grader, you really don't know. And if you think you know, you're going to change your mind a couple of times. So for instance, when I was in high school, I thought that I wanted to major in Chinese, and I obviously don't speak any Chinese, so I didn't do that. I ended up majoring in history because the point of college is that you are taking courses that take you out of your comfort zone and you're learning new things, broadening your horizons. So if you go in there with a preset idea of what you're going to do, it's going to make the educational experience less valuable for you. Unless, of course, you're definitely an engineering student and you're applying to the engineering school. There are exceptions to every rule, but you don't need to match up your major interest in high school and then the graduate school you go to necessarily. And same thing with the career. I went to Harvard Law School and I started an education business. That doesn't mean that I wasn't thoughtful and reflective throughout the process. You should focus on the skills that you're building. So the skills that I built in history were useful to my study of law and useful to education. As a general category, the ones that are most impressive to me are the ones that aren't capable or don't have the highest standardized test scores to begin with, but really become interested in a topic or subject and pursue that interest in a unique way. So for instance, we've had students who are interested in therapy and in drama. Students here actually at Shanghai High School. 2 students in particular that created a drama therapy group and worked with a professor that was a licensed drama therapist at Yale. And they created an organization at their school here that they pursued this end through. And those types of things are much different from a typical student if they were just interested in drama or psychology and might think, okay, I'll be the president of the drama club or president of the psychology club. Those are good things, but the examples that I'm thinking of are students that are really exceptional and have found unique paths to craft their interests.